So the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line has its share of detractors. For those of us who are willing to embrace a line of 7-inch scale figures, they've been really good. And 2024 has been a banner year for them. It's not just about Batman and Superman anymore. They've done some really strong releases, some that I was really surprised to add to the collection and very excited to put on the display and be like, I can't believe he made this figure. That's awesome. And there were so many figures like that. And then the ones that I was expecting, he knocked out really strongly too. So much that I was like, well, geez, I could have done multiple top 10 lists here, just like I did with Marvel Legends. I narrowed it down to just one. And I think there's some really strong choices, surprisingly leaning heavy into Batman and Superman, all the same. But there were still some really good releases. Let's break them all down because I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about this and what your top 10 figures from McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line was in 2024. What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. I'm not running through a multiple list of honorable mentions. I just have two and one that I desperately really wanted to add to my collection this year. First off is a film that I did not like, Batman Forever. It was okay. I've watched it maybe twice. Don't feel the need to revisit it, but this Robin figure was really well done. The Chris O'Donnell likeness is much improved considering how poor the actors' likenesses were with early McFarlane Toys figures. It's like, this doesn't really look like this guy. That looks like Chris O'Donnell. And I think they really executed the outfit so nice. It's one of those deals where it's like, yeah, I don't like the movie, but I kind of dig the figures. And you see one of the big improvements they made in 2024, soft goods, cloth capes. We've been begging, we've been clamoring for this for Marvel Legends for so long. McFarlane Toys is like, bet, we'll do it. And we'll include it with basically every figure going forward in 2024. That was a great development. This figure really pops. I think it's because of the black and gold with the cape. You got that big, bright cherry red, the green, the yellow utility belt. The mask a little bit overpowering, but that's the design of the look for the costume. But I think they really executed this figure really impressively and definitely one. And I was like, wow, I don't even care about Batman Forever. This figure is too good to be ignored. Another one that probably would have been on my top 10 list if I had just pulled the trigger when I saw him at the store the other day and just got him, as opposed to, well, he's the only one I got. I don't want to sit through the line, but I'm going to get him really soon, maybe even tomorrow. He just didn't make the cut because I didn't grab him fast enough. That's Clock King. This figure looks awesome. And the fact that they can throw in the Who's Who artwork, and that's what I consider to be the definitive takes on so many DC characters. That's how I learned about so many of these guys. And it actually matches up. Very impressive. The whole tempo with the clocks throughout his body, the clock head, the hands, is his weapons, his knives, blades, whatever you want to call them. I'm sure someone will correct me. The watches. This is a really nicely done figure. The colors pop. He's just exceptionally done. I really should have got him because I'm like, but it's one of those situations where it's like the line was long and that $30 price point does sometimes pull me back from grabbing these figures, especially since there's no build a figure piece to it. It's just that dumb, goofy stand that I don't care about, but he's a really good one. He should have been in my top 10 list. I'm going to fix that really soon. And then the one figure that I wanted to make sure I included to shout out because this figure is too great not to have on the list, and I really wish I could have gotten him. I didn't think he would sell that fast. Is this guy here, Damian Wayne Robin? He's paired with a really great Night Batman Reborn Dick Grayson figure, and he's a really good one. And I only did not include him on my list because I don't want to make my list too Batman heavy. But again, you see the cloth cape. This one has a much better head sculpt than the first one we got. I don't know if the articulation's that much better, but he's slender. He looks skinny next to Dick Grayson's Batman. Nice pairing. Really wish I had him. Maybe I have to go visit eBay and troll through the sludge there to find a good deal. But I'm really happy with how that figure turned out. I think he was a really good reveal and they knocked him out. Well, now for my actual top 10, let's get into it. My number 10 selection is this guy. a very late release, one that I was happy on my way back home during Christmas to stumble into the day after Christmas. We were coming back, went to Walmart, and was like, let me just see what they've got. And they had a couple of Masterverse figures that I hadn't seen anywhere else. The prices on Amazon were a little bit high. So I was like, great, I'll get them there. Went to electronics because it said that line is not all the way to the other side of the store like the other ones were. And we went down to visit my in-laws. It was down all the way. And this was the Monday before Christmas. So there were a few days. Anyhow, happened to see him in the video game section with the rest of the DC collector edition figures. And even better, it was a platinum chase edition. So happy days are here for me because I have Mr. Terrific in the collection. He's number 10. And he would be higher if he had the accurate fair play on his sleeves in the back of his jacket. But I love how this figure turned out. And not just the fact that it's like, hey, we got Mr. Terrific, but the McFarlane went a little extra route there. So he does have this new 52 deal with the tattoos. You can see the card art there, and that had a red tee. So when he was shown, it was with the red tee. And of course, we were like, come on, man. He's always good about these chases, these variants. We did get that. We got the black tee, and we got the yelling expression. We've got the mouth slightly open as he's about to drop some knowledge, and we got the closed mouth scan or sculpt. He's rocking these face plates. I really, really dig the fact that he's doing this. Adds a little bit more variety to the figure so you can mix up the look a lot better. Came with a soft goods leather jacket. Nice touch, and it's painted up just right, except for the missing fair play. He's got his T-spears, and maybe not executed as well as I would like, but the fact that they're included, I'm excited about that. Just a really good addition. I've been clamoring for more JSA members. We got one of the modern ones. And I guess at this point, if you've been reading Justice League Unlimited, he's one of the main dudes in Justice League Unlimited too. So very happy to get him. Seems like 2025 is going to be a lot of JSA love. So I'm really excited to have him. So he is my number 10 figure from this year. And I was really happy, of course, to get him in the Platinum Chase version. So next up, number 9 is a figure that I was shocked to see DC Classics never did him. Maybe it's because Toy Guru didn't care. Scott Nylick didn't want him because if he did, I'm sure we would have gotten him. But I can't believe the fact that we got this guy in the line. Ambush Bug, just crazy. And I mean, just the figure looks so great. I mean, they just knocked it out. They gave him the Splinter mold and no cuffs, which is so wild because so many Superman figures have that goofy cuff. Not so for Ambush Bug. They pulled off his antennae, just perfect. The expression, dead on, happy, smiley. The eyes look great. I mean, this figure is so well done. It even comes with his doll too. And I mean, it's just sometimes the simple figures are the best ones. And yeah, I mean, he's a blank body. He's got a smiling expression. He's got a doll, and that's it. They didn't do anything else. But sometimes all you have to do is just be that simple, that straight on focus to the core of the character, and they deliver with that. So Ambush Bug, a figure I cannot believe they released this year. They did a bang up job with him. Again, it's not the most complex, most complicated figure, but really nice to have in the collection. And I can't believe we've got him. And this one's number 8. He would have been higher if I didn't have the platinum version. I think so many of the rest of us do have. It is one of those cases where what's going on here? I didn't want this one. I wanted the basic default one. So, of course, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And that's Electric Blue Superman. I have Electric Red Superman, and it's a really nice figure. The head sculpt is perfect. It looks like Howard Porter drew it. And I'm just digging it. Got a little bit of Dan Jurgens in the head sculpt, too. And the accessories, the lightning bolts, they don't stay on as great as I'd love them to, but they're solid. They make sense to include with him. And the colors are clean. I just complained about the cuffs not being there with I didn't complain. I was saying how great it was. Then Ambush Bug didn't have the cuffs. This Superman does. I don't know why, but otherwise, this figure is great. He's a little bit slender than our normal Superman figures. The paint job is so crisp, so clean. But man, he could have been much higher. It may have been in my top 4, top 3 if I had that electric blue version. But the electric red is pretty cool in its own right. I do need to probably go the eBay route because it has gone too long and I haven't found him. But really nicely done figure, well executed. And again, I just wish I found him in stores or wherever. because I was able to get a full case. I saw one that opened him up at Target. And I was like, great. I was like, what in the world? Why is he red? Anyway, next up, number 7. And this guy, he's just a little bit lower because I don't really have him completed, but I'm cheating in this case. And that is the Build-A-Figure for that electric blue Superman JLA Wave Plastic Man. And I really dug how they did this guy. I mean, so I have the top half with him. I've got the extended stretched out arms, lasso hand, stretchy fingers, and they don't look weird and creepy like the Mr. Fantastic figures we get every so often. I love the head sculpts. We've got this big cheesy grin on his face. I mean, he just looks sleazy. He looks like Eel O'Brien. And then he came with an alternate head sculpt, which is awesome. Stretched out little crazy curls to the neck, and he's got this goofball expression too that's just perfect for the character. I love how this guy turned out. I don't even have the legs for him, but I mean, the legs can't be but so bad. So really nicely done. I thought Plastic Man was a really fun figure, and when they showed him off, I said, "Wow, this is a really great way to execute a figure with stretching parts. Give the other characters in the Build-A-Figure wave some other options for how you could display them." And this is the base default version. The arms come with Aquaman or John Stewart. Don't remember which one. And Aquaman's probably another one I would have loved to put in my top 10 list. Just don't have him yet, but he's one. You could just insert him into my alternate top 10 list for sure. The Plastic Man really turned out great. Again, fantastic head sculpts. And I think that's something they've done much better in 2024. There are still a few head scratching choices like, why did you decide to go with this? Wavy head Aquaman would have been in my top 10 list if it weren't for the fact that his hair was in underwater. But yeah, he's a solid figure otherwise. But they've done some really nice strides in terms of improving head sculpts. Take a look at that Batman versus Superman uh, Dawn of Justice head sculpt. She looks so much more like Gal Gadot. The first one, I'm like, if I squint, maybe. But that new one that they just released, really nicely done. So we're seeing some improvements. I dig that. And I'm really excited that they're making those improvements to those figures. That's key. We wanted to see that. Number 6, and I was debating if I should put him up higher because he's a really nicely done figure, but he ends up at number 6 for me. It's the Knight's End Azrael Batman armor. And this is the chase version. The red one is the default one, but geez, this figure looks amazing. I mean, look at how great this figure looks. It's a platinum version, not the chase. And they've got those big oversized gauntlets. He's got his crazy sharp bat cape wings, the whole setup with the chest plate, the armor. I mean, that is a wild looking Batman. The colors really pop. So much fun. And I think my boy DT hooked me up with this one. If I'm wrong, let me know. But really happy to get this guy added to the collection. He looks so cool. I haven't shot all the pictures. That's why you're looking at the studio version, but really great addition. And he really embodies that whole wild era, the Nightfall era of Batman. So I'm really happy with that one. Great job for McFarlane on that again. Oh man, of course you went with a Batman, but he's too good to ignore. Next up for number 5 on my list is this guy. Hal Jordan, part of the DC digital line, which is so weird with your digital Build-A-Figure. This Hal Jordan's great. That head sculpt has enough of a cocky smug, like, I've got this. I don't fear anything. And I think it really captures how he looks, how he should be portrayed. And again, it's so important key with these figures. They could have a little bit more detail on his ring. It's a little globbish, but I love this expression. This head sculpt is perfect for Hal Jordan. Just a great job there. And here's some more photos with him with the Justice League. Next to that, really great Barry Allen, the Flashpoint version. Really good. Martian Manhunter again. He can be improved a little bit. Raise that neck up some. Here he is with the rest of the guys. Superman, who's probably too short. We got that Nightfall Batman again. And I was so excited to get this figure. I was so hyped when they showed it. And he did not disappoint in hand. I was like, this is such a fun figure. And he's got great posability. And there's no problem with him. Sometimes these figures are a little bit janky with their articulation. Really good. I don't like the fact that we see this boot cuff section there. don't quite understand why they're ignoring these parts when they have other options to replace this stuff out with. But otherwise, a really good figure. You can charge the lantern up to the energy construct's a little bit boring, but a really fun figure. And I think they did a bang up job being able to do this with the Justice League, having Superman, Red Tornado, Nightfall Batman, Flashpoint, Barry Allen, and Martian Manhunter. Very exciting having the Justice League together. Very cool. And we're getting further and further to having a pretty complete shelf there. By the way, if you're on Amazon right now, you can get that Atom figure. If you did not already get him, he is cheap, but Amazon is lowering the prices on so many figures right now that if you haven't gotten some of these guys, this is a great time to start picking them up because the deals are coming hard and fast right now. So over at my affiliate Amazon, you can check this out. They've got this really cool Kilowog Kyle Rayner set down from 70 to 56.21. The Batmobile glow in the dark version was 80. Now it's 55.99. But let's go on here a little bit further to what I was actually talking about. Atom 15.39. And if you keep checking, they're throwing in a bunch of coupons for figures. You can get Ambush Bug right now, 13.14, another one on my list. So they're throwing a lot of coupons in. So if you haven't gotten some of these guys, it's a really good time to make some serious heyday on these figures. It's a little bit more, but they're here, they're available. By the way, in case you're wondering, the Superman, the movie figure is not on my list just because I don't have him. Otherwise, he would most likely be on this list as well. So good deals available. Make sure to hit up Amazon, check them out. They've got some good stuff available right now over on Amazon. Anyway, back to my list, my number 4 figure. I was getting them confused, but there's a reason for it. You'll see in just a minute. Is this guy, Green Lantern. And I love this one too. And this one is just a little bit higher just because of the extra parts that add a lot of army building capabilities to it. You can see this is more the classic version of the Green Lantern suit where we've got the points. It's not the stripes like that Hal Jordan figure was. And I think they did such a great job with the head sculpts on both of the aliens. We got a chase option here. So you can actually have 2. So you need to buy a second one, of course. But bam, that's really exciting to be able to do that with your figures. But I was so excited to be able to do this. And there's a chase where there's 2 other lantern portraits you can use. No changes to the body. They didn't go with a lighter green, which is awesome. I just need to track down this other one so I can have a full 4 lanterns added to my Green Lantern Corps. That's exciting. So that's why that got a bump over the Hal Jordan dedicated standalone figure. Just the ability, the foresight to go, you know what? People like army building. I'm going to include some army building parts. So really cool. Very excited about that 2-in-1 lantern setup. And it kind of encourages you to buy another one so you can get 2. That's very cool. That's why that's number 4 on my list. Now it's time for number 3. This guy, no way he wasn't making it on my list. And there we go. Let's try that again. This Adam West Batman figure is superb. The only reason he's number 3 is the cape. It's too long. It drapes down well past his ankles. The Adam West Batman suit, if you are some big aficionado of the outfit, it really should just hang just above his knees. It shouldn't be lower. And that's the only reason it's held down. Again, soft goods cape. I love that. I love the fact that he's including that with the figures now. And so much personality in his figure. They didn't go with the weird, wacky buck. He's got a thicker, wider torso. Pretty sure we're going to see that again with that Superman figure that I don't have in my collection yet. But the utility belt, the details, like the gold square in the center, that's awesome. I love the fact that they have it. He just looks like Adam West. And I love how we're starting to see such improvement with these likenesses for actors. Great job. He comes with a ton of stuff like the Batarang and the different hands that give him so many options. He's got a bat radio. I mean, you just imagine he's like about to throw this up and start scaling a wall. And then this, you get your bat tootsie hands. And it's just, this was such a fun figure. And I love this. The only reason that I kind of like, all right, let's hold it back to 3 is because I would have loved to have had a Robin figure in 2024 to pair with him. And some more of those guys. I know we got that smaller scale. I think that's the actual 6-inch line with a Batman 66 figures. But since you started it, I need a Robin, I need a Joker, Catwoman, Penguin, and Riddler. The rest of them, I'm fine not getting, but I gotta have my Batman the movie characters. So really nicely done. Batman classic TV series version, aka Adam West, my number three choice on this list. It's such a really fun figure to have in the collection. Next up, number two, and no laughing matter, probably not a surprise either. Maybe it's just simply because this guy's number two and not number one, but my number one has been number one for me for a long time. And that's Joker number two. And this is classic old school silver slash bronze age Joker. And really, this was one I was like, yes, this Joker right here. I have one that was kind of like, this is good enough for Joker, but this is what I wanted. I mean, you can see how fairly close. I mean, that chin can be longer still to matching up to that old school classic vintage art style for him. He comes with playing cards. He comes with a Joker fist. He's got Kane holding hands and Kane wielding hands. Check out the Kane. It's got a Joker head on there as well. It's just so much fun. I mean, we got the flower. Don't go up too close to it. And he's got the tails. And he's got like the proper Joker physique. He's slender. The head sculpt is fantastic, though. I mean, that maniacal gleam, grin, whichever one to go with it. It's such a good figure. And I love the fact that we have him now. I don't have to go, yeah, but I need my classic version of Joker. He's here. And he turned out so nice. It's so well done. I kind of need a Catwoman version now. We're getting a Two-Face supposedly, but this guy is knocked out and really happy with how they turned him out. He's great and a really nice job. I feel like I'm saying the same words over and over again, but Joker, fantastic. Matter of fact, I'm going to go as far as to say, I love that Joker. My number one, probably not a surprise because I have been singing from the rooftops the praises of this figure. I think they did an amazing job when it was revealed. It's like, this guy right here, that's a winner. And nothing deterred me from that thought. It was like, this guy's great. He's amazing. And he's more fun to pose than I would have thought, but he just exudes the character. Tremendous scope. Awesome work all around. And just my favorite DC Multiverse figure from McFarlane Toys. I'm talking about Penguin. I mean, this pose, being able to hit that, awesome. And I think Blake mentioned it'd been great if he had an open umbrella, but yeah, I mean, I gotta have some sacrifices somewhere. The monocle, really nicely done. I mean, he's got everything, so much personality in that head sculpt. I mean, it's amazing. The colors, and they even did a chase version where you get him in more of a superpowers look. But I love this version. Really nice contrast. Got the orange vest, got the purple pants, got the black jacket. I don't know if you can check out how much texture detail there is with it. The nose is sufficiently long. They made it a separate piece. I don't care because that's just something you've got to have. It looks the right length to him. He's got some hair going there. I mean, he just looks great. They killed it with this figure. And having him, the classic Riddler, who if you mentioned I didn't reference with the other classic Batman villains we need because we got him. Again, he's got those boot cuffs, but whatever. Being able to do this, I mean, I'm going to have this Joker soon posed up next to these guys. I want a Catwoman to do the same thing. And then, my classic old school Robin that I don't feel like I've gotten just yet. But Penguin, great job. Again, fantastic work on him. This is so well done. I think if McFarlane Toys hit this level with every figure, there would be so few complaints because this guy is that's the character right there. I mean, you can go, McFarlane Toys, they're wrong scale, but you can't deny this is a really fantastic Penguin figure. Just really well done. And I'm really excited about the future of the line. Some of the leaked lists are exciting about the figures to come. We know characters like Power Girl, Captain Cold are being added. We've already seen what they're looking like. Lightning Lad, we got a platinum chase version of him. He's another one I'm trying to chase down. He would have made it on my list if I could have found him. But if we got more Legionnaires in the classic old school sense coming in 2025, that's going to be great. So there's a lot to be excited about with this line. And I know there's more Mafex options to come for us, for those of us who prefer the 6-inch scale for our DC figures. No, Jada Toys is not going to take the license. 2025 is going to have a lot of changing hands with some of these deals that we've been, some of these lines we've been collecting. But I'm actually kind of hoping that McFarlane Toys keeps this. And, if somebody else gets to do a 6-inch scale, I'm fine with that. But I think McFarlane's done well enough that I don't want to keep building up my collection with these figures because they're doing great work. Let me know what you think about these choices. What were your top 10 figures from McFarlane Toys? And I'll be back on soon. More top 10 lists to go, including G.I. Joe, Yo Joe, Star Wars Black Series, and WWE. I've got one more live in me. So stay tuned. We'll be back on real soon. For now, this episode of Lyle's Figure Files has been filed.